Now at 5:30, a man is behind bars in Lexington after police say he led them on a short chase after breaking into an auto repair store. We'll have the latest on the investigation.
I hope this man gets caught.
That's a gas station employee who says she was shaken up after she was robbed at gunpoint, and you'll hear more from her in just a few on WKYT this morning.
And after a brutal attack at a French newspaper killed 12 people, we'll have the latest on the hunt for the suspects.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. It's your Friday. Welcome to WKYT This Morning. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Welcome in. It has been a windy start to our morning.
It has, and it's blowing in more cold air. It sounds like another Arctic shot. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris. He's tracking that for us. Those temperatures going down through the day.
They are. And look, we're going to have another front roll through, and we'll see temperatures this morning in the 20s, and also by the afternoon there in the teens. And you're seeing kind of evidence of that front passing on through at the moment. It's really to the north. This is kind of prefrontal stuff. Back toward the west, you're going to get some flurries, and over toward the east, there are your snow showers rolling through the Moorhead region and also making your way towards Sandy Hook and Elliott County and also Carter County. So heads up if you're just south and southeast of that. That's the way it is moving. 20s outside. So anything that falls over in the east, no doubt about it, with those snow showers, you could get a little sticking here and there. I don't expect major issues and not many issues, but some isolated minor issues there on the roads could be expected as we hit the afternoon there in the teens. Look tomorrow morning, 4 degrees. Here we go again, but I promise you this. I was looking just long range at some of these forecasts, and it is looking better. Yeah, I'll show you those numbers coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll take any improvement we get. Thank you, Micah.
There's some terrifying moments for a gas station employee in Georgetown after she was robbed at gunpoint.
It happened at the Shell gas station right on East Main Street downtown around 11 last night. Police tell us the gas station has been targeted by robbers many times before. WKYT's Mark Barber live from that gas station with what the woman had to say about the crime. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Bill and Rebecca. Yeah, the woman says that when the robber told her to get on the ground last night, she didn't think that this gas station was actually getting robbed. She says at first she just thought it was a joke. But she says as the man pointed a gun at her, she realized he was very serious. And at that point, the woman tells us she believed she was going to die. Now, police say that the armed man walked into the gas station here around 11:15 last night. The woman tells us that he told her to remove, and after warning her not to push any alarms, he told her to remove the cash register. But the woman tells us that she just made a money drop a few minutes before, so the man wasn't able to get away with much. Now, police called in K9 units to search the area for him, but so far they haven't found any sign of him. Now, we are told that there is surveillance video of this robbery, and they're hoping that it will help them catch this crook. Meanwhile, the very shaken clerk, who, by the way, is also a mother, says she is still trying to recover from the terrifying experience.
I threw my hands up. He told me to get on the floor. So I went to get on the floor, and he came around the counter, and I thought, this is it.
Now, investigators say this gas station has been targeted quite some times. They say that in one of the investigators we spoke with says that since 1997, when he started with the department here, this gas station has been robbed more than all the other gas stations in the area. Now, the clerk says that she will continue to work here, but she says she's trying to get off of that third shift. Live in Georgetown, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Well, Perry County man is facing more charges this morning in Lexington after he attacked police officers in a courtroom. Ronald Deaton was in court on charges of a DUI, cocaine possession, and leaving the scene of an accident. Police say he charged at an officer and tried to grab his gun from its holster. 3 officers then tried to subdue Deaton, who continued to fight and reach for the gun. He was eventually arrested again and taken back to jail. One officer had minor injuries, small cuts to his knee and elbow.
Also new this morning, Lexington police have arrested a man who they say broke into an auto repair store overnight.
This happened around 2 o'clock this morning at Brandenburg Auto Repair on Versailles Road. The owner tells us the man got away with just a handful of change and some paperwork. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel live from the scene with more on this investigation.
Good morning, everyone. Police responded to a burglar alarm at this business just after 2 this morning. Not long after that, officers were able to track down and arrest a man. This happened here again just after 2 this morning at Brandenburg Auto on Versailles Road. When officers got here, they saw a busted side window and a man running away from the area. After a short foot chase, police caught up with James Gregory near Oxford Circle and arrested him. We talked to the auto shop's owner, who tells us the burglar only got away with paperwork and some change.
With all the bad stuff going on in the world today, these people don't want to work, and all they want to do is steal from the hard-working man. No thoughts at all. They need to be put under the jail, not in it.
Now, 3 other people in this area were also taken in for questioning, but as far as we know, none of those people were arrested. Gregory, on the other hand, is charged with third-degree burglary. Live in Lexington, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
All right, Whitney, thank you. And we have new information this morning on the search for 2 gunmen who are accused of killing 12 people at the offices of a French newspaper.
Authorities say they have narrowed in on the shooting suspects in a town northeast of Paris. The 2 brothers have taken a hostage inside a building there. According to reports, reportedly shots have been fired, but an area hospital says no one has been taken to the hospital. The men are the main suspects in the attack Wednesday at Charlie Hebdo, a satirical newspaper in Paris. In Paris, a national day of mourning for the victims was marked by the bells of Notre Dame and the Eiffel Tower going dark.
Taking the metro, waking up this morning, it's been totally silent. The most noise I've heard today has been from the bells.
And the satirical newspaper plans to publish next week. Cartoonists around the world say this terror attack will not silence them. They say it's more important than ever to protect free speech. A Lexington Herald Leader editorial cartoonist, Joel Pett, talked to us about his opinion on the attacks.
Yeah, Joel Pett won a Pulitzer Prize for his work as an editorial cartoonist, and he's the president of a nonprofit that champions the rights of cartoonists around the world. He says people not liking your work is an occupational hazard, but usually isn't a big concern.
Well, here in the Bible Belt, if you knock people's religion, they're more likely to contact you and tell you that they're praying for you. The last time I had a serious threat, it was from UK basketball fans who didn't like what I had drawn about their coach. That's a religion in itself in this neighborhood.
Pett says the attacks also remind him that those with a platform have an obligation to provoke the right people for the right reasons.
Some of my pals.
Well, dozens of school districts canceled classes yesterday because of those bitterly cold temperatures, but many students spent the day learning from home. Some school districts, including Jessamine County, are taking part in a pilot program that allows non-traditional instruction days. Every student receives take-home lessons, and teachers can still be reached by email if students have any questions. Parents we talked to like the program.
To be able to help your kids and enjoy a snow day, but also get that education thrown in there too.
School districts receive 10 non-traditional instruction days they can take as part of the pilot program. These days do not have to be made up.
Time is 5:38. A crash on one of Lexington's busiest roads sent 2 people to the hospital. It happened around 4:30 Thursday afternoon on Nicholasville Road at Marketplace Drive, right near Man o' War. Police say a Lexus and a Ford collided at the intersection. They say 2 people in the Lexus were taken to UK hospital. One of those injured could have life-threatening injuries. Lexington police called out the collision reconstruction unit to figure out what caused the crash.
A Pulaski County man was killed trying to help others after a crash. Police say Leonard Mink was one of 3 people who died during a pileup on snowy Interstate 80 in Pennsylvania. They say Mink got out of his tractor trailer to help some children after a crash when he was hit by another vehicle. Family members say Mink will be remembered for being a loving father and grandfather and for his ability to make people laugh.
A Louisville dentist has been arrested on child pornography charges. Police say they arrested 54-year-old Gregory Witt after an undercover investigation. He is facing 17 counts of possessing and distributing child pornography. He has pleaded not guilty. A sign on the door of his dental office in Louisville says the office is temporarily closed.
Well, we are tracking the investigation into a series of utility trailer thefts in Laurel County. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office says the trailers have been stolen from both homes and businesses over the last month. Many of the trailers look like the one you see here in this photo. Deputies say most of the trailers are worth between $1,500 and $3,000. Police have not made any arrests. Laurel County Crime Stoppers offering a $500 reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction.
Some disorder in the court when part of an eastern Kentucky courthouse suddenly flooded. Magoffin County leaders think a faulty sprinkler head started that problem yesterday morning at the Magoffin County Justice Center, but some pipes burst later in the day, making the damage worse. County leaders say both the district and circuit courtrooms were flooded. They lost some equipment and all of that, and they say it's not the first time that's happened.
Last year, the sprinkler system on this side of the building, on the family court side of the building, burst. and we had a leak, but nothing compared to this one.
Court was in session when the pipe started bursting, so the Justice Center was evacuated. Magoffin County leaders think crews can repair the damage rather quickly.
A Kentucky newspaper has issued a retraction after attributing a racist quote to the Hardin County Sheriff. The quote was in a story about National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, printed in yesterday's Elizabethtown News Enterprise. The story quotes Sheriff John Ward as saying, "Those who go into the law enforcement profession," and this is the quote here that was retracted, "typically do it because they have a desire to shoot minorities." But Sheriff Ward never said that. He says the quote was made up.
After speaking to both the publisher and editor of the News Enterprise, I have been advised that the original story was changed by an employee of the paper, supposedly as a prank.
Well, the News Enterprise issued a retraction on its website last night, and it has apologized to Sheriff Ward. The newspaper's editor said the reporter who wrote the story was not responsible. The editor said the incorrect quote was added during a process that was supposed to get rid of news pages, of the errors on those news pages. He said the two employees responsible for inserting it have been fired.
Well, if you're concerned about your chances of getting the flu right now, there are some smartphone apps that you can download to help you figure out where flu cases are in your area. The CDC has an app called Flu View that is updated weekly to show where flu-like activity is being reported. And Flu Near You tracks flu activity and reported symptoms in real time, and it can pinpoint your location right down to the street.